Investment, addiction, or status symbol? My channel, I'm Andri. Today we are talking handbags. We are talking, are they an investment, are they a status symbol, or are they simply an addiction? Cheers! First of all, let me tell you how this video came about. Basically, I'm trying to justify another handbag. It's as simple as that. So let's discuss things that get thrown at us by other YouTubers when they're justifying the cost of these handbags. You know, we hear things like they're an investment, they are timeless, they are versatile, they are functional, the quality is second to none, cost per wear, on and on. All these things that we all use to try and justify the cost of these little beauties. So let's start off with investment. What is an investment? Basically, an investment is you spend money on something and you expect to get that money back when you sell it plus more. So that's an investment. But does that apply to handbags? Well, honestly, when I buy a handbag, or at least when I bought any of these bags, I've never thought about reselling them. For me, an investment is something that gives me joy, something I enjoy carrying. It brings me happiness. That, for me, is what an investment in a handbag is. It's like buying a car. When you buy a car, do you buy a car for the functionality? Yes, but you're buying it because you love the look of it and you have so much money to spend on a car. So it's a bit of a status symbol as well in a lot of cases. But with a car, you're not going to make your money back. You're actually losing money. From the moment you drive that car out the showroom, you're making a loss with cars. With some bags, you will make your money back, and with some other bags, you will make your money back and more. But that won't happen overnight. You have to have had a bag for a few years. So this bag, for me, now has become an investment. Because I've had this bag for so long, and this bag for so long, these bags are worth a lot more than what I paid for them. So if I sold them, I would make my money back and more, because they're practically brand spanking new. And that's where the quality comes in, because they have held up well. I mean, I have really used my classics a lot. I tend to, these are my favourite bags to use. Again, different fashion houses have their classics. Dior have their Lady Dior. This is a classic. This has become timeless. This is the original Dior with the zipper here. So this is their classic bag. Louis Vuitton have their classic bags, like the Neverfull. This is no way near the price of a classic, but it's a much more simple bag. They also have their Speedy. So each house has its classic bags. But they're not all an investment. Houses like Hermes, Chanel, Louis Vuitton have continuous price increases. Louis Vuitton have just had a price increase, Chanel have just had a price increase. The price of these classics now are unbelievable. Even to me, that, you know, when I bought these bags, they were expensive. Now I look at the price of them and I think, wow, could I go out and buy one of these now? You know, you're talking for this size just now, it's nearer the 6,000 mark. It's incredible. They're slowly but surely catching up to the prices of the Birkin and the Kelly, where you're talking about, depending on the leather, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 and upwards. They could go up to £90,000, some of the Hermes bags, depending on the material. Now when you look at this bag, is this worth its price tag? You know, we've discussed it is an investment if you've had it for a few years. But are these materials in this bag worth the price? Of course they're not. No way. So what are we paying for? We're paying for the name, the branding, you know, that's what we're paying for. You know, this bag now, and as much as none of us like to admit to things like that, has become a status symbol. In the same way the Birkin, in the same way the Kelly is. This is up there now. It's a status symbol. You know, how many people can afford to pay that on a handbag? Yeah. So I'm looking at these bags and I'm thinking, well, you know, I spent that money on it, but now it is worth it because I'm not going to make a loss. You know, it's now worth a lot more money. So, you know, do I go ahead and go for the bag that I'm thinking of? The bag that I'm thinking of purchasing has only been around for a few years. I do think this bag is going to become a classic. I'll insert a picture right here. It's not in the classic range, but I do believe it will become a classic. So when I'm looking at this bag, I'm trying to justify it now as an investment. But actually, like I had explained, for me, an investment is not about making money on a bag. For me, an investment is the joy it will give me. And I know the style of that bag is one of my favourite styles of bag. You know, it's very similar to the YSL style, where it has a top handle, it has a long strap, and it has a flap. And I absolutely love this YSL bag. It's the same as my Pochette Métis. It has the flap, it has the top handle, and it has the long handle. So do I really need another bag in that style? Well, you could ask the same thing. Did I need two classic flaps in the same colour? Different coloured hardware, but in the same colour. Well, this is where functionality comes in. You know? They each have their own functional value. Do you see where I'm going? I'm really good at justifying handbags. So let's summarise. Are luxury bags an investment? Some are. Very few are. The main classics are an investment. It doesn't mean any bag that you buy from Chanel or Louis Vuitton or Hermes are an investment. No. More often than not, it is their classics that are an investment. So yes, when you spend money on this bag, you are paying for the branding, you are paying for the name Chanel, but it doesn't mean any bag from Chanel you're going to make money on it. There's very few that you will, and it's bags like the classics that are timeless, and I do think that's where the investment is. It's when a bag is timeless. It's when my granddaughter is old enough to carry a bag, she will carry this bag. Nobody will know it was her grandmother's. This is what makes this bag worth so much money. It's the same with my Lady Dio. It has stood the test of time. Again, if any of my grandchildren held that bag, nobody would know it was their grandmother's. I don't really and honestly baby my bags, and this is where quality comes in. They really do stand the test of time, and if something does go wrong with them, more often than not it is fixed. I've had that experience with Louis Vuitton where I've taken my Pochette Métis in. They have fixed it for me after having it, I can't remember now, 3 years. They fixed it free of charge. When I bought my classic flaps, now the classic flaps have a stitch at the back here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a stitch here and there's a stitch there, and I was told at the time when I bought the bag that these stitches do wear away with use. I suppose with opening and closing the flap mat at the back, it's basically what holds the flap to this part here. So you can see the stitch there, and they said that could come away, and I was also told that they would fix it free of charge. Now I know that have been some cases where people have been charged for it. I was specifically told when I bought the classic flap that that could happen, but Chanel would fix that free of charge. So that was something that was expected to happen through time. You know, a variation of this bag has been around since 1955. This is why this bag has stood the test of time. This is why this bag is timeless, and this is why this bag is an investment. You know, a lot of people say the Lady Dior is not an investment because on the second-hand market it devalues. I would beg to differ with that, because again, it depends how long you've had it for. The bag is, my Lady Dior is worth a lot more now than what I paid for it. You know, I have recently decided to sell some of my Gucci bags that I really don't use and are just sitting there gathering dust. I'm lying, none of my bags gather dust, I dust them. But anyway, they're not classics, but I do know the style of them, the shoulder handle style, all that is coming back now. It's going to be the in style of bags, so the time to sell is now. So I've decided I'm going to sell them, because there's no point them sitting there and then I can put the money towards buying another bag. So again, yes, you can sell them, but you're not going to make money on them. So that's the investment. Let's talk about addiction. I would say it is a bit of an addiction, because after each one of these bags, I've always said, that's my last one. I don't need another bag. I have my collection now. And then another bag comes along, and you think about it, and you're never ever 100% fulfilled with your collection. You always, you know, you are until that next bag comes along. So I do think it's a bit of an addiction. Is it a status symbol like the classics, the Kellys, the Birkins? Are they a status symbol? Is the Neverfull a status symbol? Now you see so many people carrying the Neverfull. Do you look at somebody carrying the Neverfull and have a preconception of their status? You know, this is now a bag that costs, I think it's over £1,000 now to buy a Neverfull. So when you look at somebody, do you think, ooh, they must have a pretty penny, or they must be doing well for themselves? In the same way you see somebody carrying a classic or a Birkin or a Kelly. Notice somebody's handbag. It's one of the first things I notice on somebody. I don't notice it because I think, oh, because of whatever status it is. I notice it because I love handbags. But you need to have some amount of money to be able to afford these bags, unless you're getting them on your credit cards and you're paying them up for the rest of your life, which personally I don't recommend, especially on handbags. The title of this video is Investment, Addiction or Status Symbol. I would have to say that there is a bit of all of that in luxury handbags. So let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree and your thoughts on luxury handbags, and should I buy that next handbag? But meanwhile, if you'd like to see more videos from me, I will link one here, and if you're not already subscribed, press the A right here, and remember, a thumbs up is always very much appreciated. Cheers!